Good morning and welcome to Human Trafficking and DNA Light Up Part 2, which is Tuesday. We're doing this for a week. So today we are talking about the stages of human trafficking and looking at the different styles that traffickers will use to coerce people into being trafficked. Thank you to everybody who commented yesterday or liked the post or shared the post, because the aim of this is to get this out to other people that are working with people that have been trafficked, and also to the workers who are working in trafficking. So I'm going to tell you a story. I've already bullet pointed up there about the stages of trafficking, and there is the force, the coercion, if somebody's addicted to drugs, and the different ways that a trafficker will use, the different guises that they will use. One of them is the guerrilla, which is about force, you know, a little bit like the film Taken, where somebody's forced and dragged into trafficking. There's also the CEO, which will be somebody who talks about well, you could make this money, giving them a business deal for getting into trafficking. You could make this money if you grow this marijuana for me, which is a big thing, or working in a car washing place, or prostitution. And also there is so that's the CEO. There's also one called the Romeo, which is also called the boyfriend. And for me, this is the one that I've come across the most when working with women who are trafficked into the sex industry. And for me, it's the most dangerous of all of them, because it involves emotions. And so I'm going to tell you a story that's a real life story about a girl that met a boy, a normal scenario in a pub, and she was approached by this guy. He asked if he could buy her a drink, and she said no, she wasn't really interested. And this guy kept, every time she went in after work, she worked in a bank, he would go over and ask her if she wanted a drink, and he kind of kept going in. He was persistent, and to her, she was like, well, he really likes me, he's persistent, he keeps coming over, and I'm not seeing anyone at the minute. So she let him buy her a drink, and that progressed. They went out for a drink together and started seeing each other. Now this all sounds like a normal scenario. To the trafficker, it's actually the luring stage. So it's finding out about the girl, finding out what her hopes and dreams are, finding out what makes her tick. And she started seeing this guy, and they moved in together. And this process was actually 3 years. So she believed that she had a boyfriend that really loved her, and he'd moved into the grooming stage, where he treated her like a princess. She started getting her nails done all the time. She was having her hair done. He was buying her expensive clothes, and she was like, wow, I've, met this guy of my dreams, and he's lovely, and he treats me so well. In the meantime, he'd been influencing her, telling her that her friends weren't very good, and that a family maybe weren't that good for her either. So all the time he was isolating her from people that loved her, and getting her to be more dependent on him. She was unaware of all this, that this was happening. He, like I said in the post, these traffickers are intelligent, and they have this all planned. So after 3 years of seeing this guy, he was Albanian, she was British. He said that they were going to go on holiday to Italy, and she was excited about going on holiday with him. She was in love with this guy. So they went over to Italy. When they got there, his demeanour changed completely. He told her that she was going to work for him on the streets of Italy, in saunas and working as an escort. She was absolutely dumbfounded. She was like, what are you talking about? And he hit her, beat her up, said, if you love me, this is what you're going to do. She was all over the place. She thought, this guy loves me, what is he doing? Anyway, it lasted for 5 years that she was trapped over in Italy and working in the sex industry for him. He beat her up and she ended up in hospital, and she remembered a code word that her mum had told her, that if she was ever in trouble, that she would ask for Auntie Linda, ask her how Auntie Linda was on the phone, which was a fictional auntie, and mum would know straight away that she was in trouble. She did that on the phone. She begged him to phone her mum, and he allowed it, and a mum found out where she was, and they got her back to the UK, and the guy was prosecuted. Now obviously this girl had Stockholm syndrome, so she, although the guy was prosecuted, she still had feelings for him. She had been dehumanized and forgotten who she was completely. So when we go through DNA light up, without going through any of that trauma, it's amazing to find ourselves again. Can you imagine finding yourself again after something like that has happened, and actually realizing the power and how wonderful you are as a person, which is what happens with these women that go through DNA light up. And that's why it's so important that we get this out there, and that we share this work with as many people as we can, and as many agencies that are working with women that are rescued, so that we can put them through, well, give them access to DNA light up, so that they know who they are. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please share these videos. Have a look at what's happening tomorrow. I'm going to be sharing some testimonies of some of the women that have already been through DNA light up, and then I'm going to be doing a chat with Emma on Thursday, who's still working in the trafficking arena. So thank you so much for watching. Keep getting it out there with the hashtag DNA light up. Thank you.